You guys know how to do this. This is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be here. Thank you so much for the warm introduction, Val. Governor Herbert sends his regards and apologizes that he could not be here today. He is back in Washington, D.C., representing the great state of Utah for the inauguration of the next president of the United States. And I know that the president-elect is very disappointed that I was unable to make the trip, and a few of you know me, and I appreciate the laugh, but I'm much more excited to be here and to be here at the inauguration of this incredible conference. And I'm especially grateful that I chose not to wear a suit today. I hope that's okay. I thought I would fit in a little better if I didn't do that, although I dodged a bullet. Honestly, I got ready today. I was about to leave the house, and I had a feeling I should change. I had Josh's pants on when I left, and that would have been really embarrassing because he wore it much better. You know, I thought a lot about what we could talk about today, and some people prepared some really nice talking points for me, and I'll probably glance at them at some point. And I know you're all very excited. You thought, wow, we get to hear a politician today, and that's why you all showed up. And so I don't want to disappoint you, but I do want to talk to you about something that's very important. I want to talk about education. So you've heard a lot about the great things about Utah, and they're all true. We do have some challenges here in the state of Utah, and one of those challenges is education. And it's a challenge for two reasons. And one of those reasons is, and funding education in particular, because we have about 70% of the state is public lands, is owned by the federal government. Whether you think that's a great thing or a bad thing, it's a thing, okay? Because in most states, the taxes that people pay on property taxes help fund education. We have very little property taxes available. And so income taxes fund education in the state. 100% of the income tax in the state of Utah goes to education. So the second problem we have is that we have a lot of kids. It's one of the things we're best at here in the state of Utah. I mean, we've practiced for years and we're really good at it. And it's a great problem to have, as many states will tell you, where their population is shrinking. Any economist will tell you that having that replenishing the population of your state is a very good thing for the economy and a good thing for the jobs that you all are creating. And so we have this dynamic where it's tough. Now, we're having a discussion right now on how to fund education, and that's an important discussion, and that will be ongoing. But let me make it very clear to you. We could double the income tax tomorrow, double the taxes you pay for education, those of you here in the state of Utah. And first of all, your businesses would all leave. But the second problem would be that we would only be 36th in per pupil funding if we doubled the income tax. So I'm in a room full of innovators. I'm in a room full of disruptors. And I'm here to tell you that we need your help when it comes to education, because we can't do it the same way that every other state does it. We have to think outside the box. We have to do things differently. And so I think I'm talking to the right crowd when I have this discussion. So if most of you don't know, I ran a tech company for a little over 10 years. It was the family business. 110 years ago, my great-great-grandfather started a small rural telecommunications company. It's been in my family for 100 years. It was sold 20 years ago. Kept management in the family. My dad asked me to come back and help run the company. I did. I loved it. It was one of the fastest-growing telecommunications companies in the state as of 5 years ago, and it's still growing very rapidly. And we deliver high-speed fiber optic circuits to businesses like yours. Some of you were our customers. And I'm in this business, and I'm looking around, and I'm looking at my kids going to school. I have 4 kids, all of them in public education. And I thought, I want to do more. Surely there's something we could do. And I was involved in politics, and I found that politics wasn't doing enough to help our schools. And so I said, what can we do? So we put our heads together, and we started raising money, and we decided to go and help teach entrepreneurial skills in our rural elementary schools in our small county. And I got 50 volunteers to go in and teach these kids, and we raised $50,000 every year to do this, just our small company of about 70 employees. And it was remarkable to see the transition that happened in the lives of these kids as they started to see their potential and what they could do. And that got me thinking, and we started to look at the research, and now I'm in this job as a lieutenant governor, and I'm meeting with the governor, I'm meeting with some amazing stakeholders here in the state of Utah, and we started to see that there are some things out there that are proven to work. And one of those things just happens to be this work-based learning, where companies and schools partner together to give children opportunities in the workplace that they wouldn't otherwise have. And what's amazing is it's rare in politics. All the easy answers seem to have already been given and problem solved. But in this one, it really is truly a win-win for everybody. It's good for you. It's good for the business leaders out there because they get these young people and they can help educate them and help sculpt them and shape their minds. And a lot of times these kids come right to work for you. But the data is amazing. There's some research done that shows that minority kids that participate in work-based learning are more than twice as likely to go to college. They're much more likely to graduate. They just perform better if they have this opportunity. And let's be honest, right? Our economy has changed. Too often when we talk about education, we're preparing our kids for their future by looking at our past. And that's the wrong way to do it. We've got that backwards because the economy has changed. You don't get a job and stay in that job for 40 years. You don't even get in an industry and stay in an industry for 40 years, right? This idea that we have to be constantly learning and constantly adapting. And work-based learning allows us to do that. One thing I want to point out that I love about the state of Utah that makes Utah unique anywhere I go is that we are the most generous state in the nation. We are number one when it comes to volunteerism every year, and there's not a close second. We are number one when it comes to charitable giving every year, and there's not a close second. And that's not just individuals, that's companies and corporations like yours. We expect that when you come to the state of Utah. We expect that you give back. And we want to make sure that that partnership continues between government, education, and the private sector in giving back and helping to better educate our children. And so, just one quick story. I'm at Costco last week, and we had those rainstorms in January. It was really weird. I come out, and it's a complete downpour, and I'm in a suit, and I've got a cart full of groceries. I'm on my way home, and I'm trying to empty groceries, and this car pulls up in this pouring rain, and this 16-year-old kid jumps out of his car and comes running around. This punk comes to help me unload my groceries. I like I'm a 90-year-old lady or something, right? And I'm like, no, I've got this. He's like, no, let me help you. And he did. And I thought, where does that happen? It happens here, right? We're a generous people. It's part of our culture. It's who we are. And I love that. And so we decided, we started this Pathways program. And we started with the aerospace industry. And some of the leaders in aerospace got together and said, we want to innovate in this space. And so we worked with our education leaders and our aerospace leaders, and we started this Pathways program. And it allows high school kids to go to work with these aerospace companies and to actually graduate with a certificate in aerospace manufacturing that allows them to continue on with their careers, gives them a leg up if they decide to go to college, but gives them an education that they couldn't get anywhere. And it's been wildly successful. And so I'm going to move over to my notes now because I don't want to miss any of the important people as I finish up here. But we decided that this was working so well that we wanted to do something more, and we wanted to undertake what we think is at least one of the most ambitious programs in the country for work-based learning. Now, I'm not going to give away all of the details yet because I want to leave that to the governor, and he has an important State of the State address, and I know all of you watch it with bated breath every year. And so next Wednesday, tune in because you're going to learn more about this. But I'm here to tell you that we're not going to solve this problem alone. If you're going to wait for government officials to solve education in the state of Utah, we're going to be waiting for a long time. Not because we don't want to, but because we need your help. And so we're going to be asking you for your help to help us as we continue forward with, again, a very ambitious work-based learning program here in the state of Utah. So let me just give you a little background about what happened. We put together a coalition of people here in the state, led by Val Hale and the Governor's Office of Economic Development, with representatives from Workforce Services, the State Board of Education, the Utah College of Applied Technology, the Utah System of Higher Education, and the Salt Lake Chamber and Women's Tech Council. So again, a lot of really important people, a lot of really smart people got together. And we went to work with the National Governors Association. They had this concept out there for some grant money to work on work-based learning initiatives. So we partnered with them, and you're going to get to meet Megan Wills here just in a second, and David Etzweiler, who is the CEO of the Siemens Foundation, who made all of this possible to help bring this idea, this concept to fruition here in the great state of Utah. So we're really excited, guys. We feel like we have an opportunity to move the needle in a way that's never been done before, in a way that helps to fill the jobs that you all have open that we're having a hard time filling, which is great. By the way, for the first 2 quarters of 2016, the last 2 quarters for which we have data, more tech jobs were created in the state of Utah than anywhere else in the United States, period. And that's because of you. And as a great politician, I would normally take credit for all of that, but since the election's over, I'm willing to give you all of the credit where it deservedly belongs. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for what you're doing to give back to the communities of the state of Utah. And we're just getting started, all right? So you're going to hear more about work-based learning. You're going to hear more from the governor next week. And then we're going to be knocking on your doors. We're going to be partnering together, and we're going to lift the children of the state of Utah to heights that they've never reached before, because we believe, just like we become the #1 economy in the entire country, we really believe we can do it with education, but we can't do it alone. Thanks for your help, and God bless all of you. Thank you.